My name is Sandra Liebenberg, and I am Professor of Human Rights Law at the University of Stellenbosch in South Africa. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you to this side event, to the 60th session of the Commission on Social Development. This side event is co-organized by ATD Fourth World, by the Office of the High Commissioner of Human Rights, supporting special procedures, and then also by the NGO Committee on Social Development. The title of today's event is Dignity for All in Practice, Overcoming Poverty-Based Discrimination. Now, this title resonates very well with the overall theme of the Commission session, which is inclusive and resilient recovery from COVID-19 for sustainable livelihoods, well-being and dignity for all, eradicating poverty and hunger in all its forms and dimensions to achieve the 2030 agenda. The theme of today's side event invites us to reflect on the implications of viewing poverty through the lens of equality and non-discrimination. And I think this is a very important lens because it invites us to broaden our understanding of poverty beyond simply money metric measures of poverty or even deprivation of basic social needs understandings. And it asks us to think of poverty, of how it is constructed by a combination of laws, policies, and institutional practices that collectively exclude the poor from full participation in political, economic, social, and cultural life. In so doing, it marginalizes their voices and undermines their human dignity. So the purpose of this webinar then is to explore in greater depth what it means to view poverty through a non-discrimination lens. And in pursuit of this objective, our panelists will address three main themes. Firstly, the why question. Why prohibit poverty on the grounds of socioeconomic disadvantage? Secondly, what are the implications of prohibiting poverty on the grounds of socioeconomic disadvantage? And then the third set of questions looks at country-level experiences with prohibiting poverty on the grounds of socioeconomic disadvantage or poverty. So we are very fortunate today to have a set of wonderful panelists from diverse backgrounds and spheres to address these three questions. I will briefly introduce each of them in turn when I call upon them to make their interventions. And following the interventions, we will then transition to what I hope will be a very dynamic, interactive question and answer session. And on behalf of the organizers, I invite you to post your questions in the chat and we'll pick them up in the Q&A session and we'll try to get to as many of them as possible.